penetration of social media, especially in the 21st century, has had a significant role in connecting people worldwide. The youth are the most credited users of social media and credited to be on the front line as well, but which has had both positive and negative impact on them. In this video documentary, let's question what has been the impact of social media on the moral decay among the youth, particularly in the city of Kigali.
The moral decadence in our society has reached such a level that calls for concern. The young ones and the leaders of tomorrow not show respect to the elders. They engage in all sorts of antisocial behavior injurious to the society. Any society that is not morally sound is bound to witness all sorts of social threat. Moral values are found in our religion, culture and traditions, yet our youth, for one reason or the other, are not religious. They consider our indigenous culture outdated and our traditions barbaric. Therefore, they queue up to embrace digital culture in its totality, abandoning our indigenous culture and tradition entirely, thereby losing their identity. Now that the issue has reached such an alarming rate, and as it is in our tradition, whenever an issue arises, we point accusing fingers and play the blame game instead of brainstorming on how best to tackle the problem. Social networking sites receive plenty of interest from all social categories, especially young people, and turn to be tools of exchanging and spreading behavior models, ideas, views and opinions. And now, let's examine what has been the role of social media on moral decay among the youth in the city of Kigali.
Almost every one of us today have got access to smartphones, which we mostly use in browsing and chatting on different social media platforms. But the biggest question every one of us should care about is how often or to what extent are the youth engaged in the use of social media?
In the 21st century, there has been a huge involvement of the youth and social media. There is nothing that is involving the youth and there is no social media. This is how the youth are able to communicate with the different people out there. This is how they show their lives. This is how they portray what they're doing in a certain hour. The youth find it as a platform to express themselves.
Social media has made a lot of people get connected, which could not happen if you still had to go to 10 miles to visit a friend. You can call that person and introduce you to another friend and another friend.
So it gives me a large extent, because when you look at the people that usually, are involved in, the process or the way it works or the way they contribute towards different things, they really use social media a lot, and I see that a lot. Why? Because when I go to WhatsApp, I definitely see WhatsApp groups of youth. When I go to Instagram, I see many comments, or I see many people who share their pictures in the generation gap of the youth. So to me, it's a very large extent of, estimated large extent of the youth that really use social media in every day-to-day life that we face.
Youth in Rwanda, even youth across the globe, are using social media on a high level extent. One, there are young people who are on Facebook, because Facebook is more of like a friendly social media platform. And they also have another group of youth that are also on Instagram. The people who are more into pictures, like visuals, like pictures, videos. And then you have also another group that is seen, or the elite youth. So those ones are mostly on Twitter. So because they bring their brain, they bring their ideas, and then on Instagram you bring pictures, you bring videos, you're going to dress up the next day, or how you look like. And then Facebook, people just talk, connect, chat, and everything.
I can actually say social media, as of this moment, this time, it matches with the right time that the world is moving.
The youth are very different from our forefathers. So every time we grow up, we're told, do this, do that. We're told to act in a certain way. So when the youth find this platform, they use it as a way to defend themselves, to defend their actions, to give them a place in society to stand by.
With absolute penetration of social media among the youth in Rwanda, help me examine what has been its role or impact on the moral decay among the youth in Rwanda.
The positive impact is we have seen different youth people, I mean big names or influencers out there who have made a name, who have made money through posts on Instagram and through being influencers on Instagram, being verified and all that. So it gives me the feel that people do not only post just for posting, but there are some people that are actually approached at the end of the day because of the picture they have posted.
When a person of my age posts a picture on Instagram and it gets 1,000 likes, that means they are very much appreciated in society, in the society of social media.
It also increases the profiles, or not like CVs as such, but if you're using social media well as a young person, it increases your chances of being recognized as a serious person. You look at someone's profile on Facebook, or their biography, where they went to school, where they have worked before, where they have done their internship from. This builds your profile, which can easily help you to network with like high-profile people, meet like new CEOs, get jobs, and everything.
Take an example of young men who have now made money, both nationally or locally and internationally, through such social media. You'll find out that these days many young men have created websites, have created WhatsApp groups that are making money financially, that they're developing.
Some people have got their fame through social media, and people are still making friends through social media, and some of them are getting contracts through social media, are getting promoted, are getting paid to post on their accounts. They're sitting home but still they're working.
Most of the time, back in the day, you were given a platform. That means you had to stand in front of people and express the different points that you have right now. But social media is a different, it's a virtual expression. That means you can be able to write and have a huge audience. You can be able to post a picture is said to have 1,000 words. That means for those youth out there who are not very expressive physically or don't feel comfortable with huge crowds, social media or this platform gives them an ear, it gives them an audience for the people out there. So that's one of the benefits.
I think it also helps with connection in moral behavior, so it boosts the character of love between people, and I think that's a moral behavior that I really admire amongst people.
For example, Rwanda, this country have faced the worst genocide of our generation. But so youth have been using social media platforms to build peace in their communities, to fight genocide ideologies on different social media platforms.
We cannot deny the fact that social media is taking over the world. That means if you want to get your voice out there, or if you want to get your project out there, or if you want to reach a huge mass of people, use social media.
Like Rwanda is a landlocked country, so if we are to connect with like people from across the globe, social media has been key. You look at someone who is a Rwandan studying in Tanzania or Kenya, or let's assume you're doing your masters in Thika and you're here in Rwanda doing online, and you want to connect with teachers in Thika. Most of the time you find young people are using social media. You use Facebook, you use Twitter, you use different platforms online to connect with your teachers. So in terms of education, this has also been an impact to youth.
So coming to the negative impact, I think we have taken most of our time and most of our beliefs in social media a lot than taking it to being in something that we shouldn't let drive us, but drive it. So most people wake up in the morning and the first thing you do is to get your phone and go to WhatsApp to see the texts that have been sent to you, or to see the likes that you have on Instagram, or the comments, or different things, or Twitter to see that latest tweet, or to retweet something else.
You meet people on Instagram, They promise you jobs. They ask you to pay some little money in terms of like cash, liquid cash. They ask you if you want this job as a multimedia producer, as a camera operator, pay 200 USD, and then you're going to be confirmed next week. You pay this kind of amount of money, and then you lose your job. You lose your money because someone who is asking you money is not a real person. You're chatting with a bot account on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter. So this also have contributed in issues with cyber crimes.
This high involvement also comes with some flaws. It brings about social injustice. It brings about the fact that a person is going to feel better and another one is not going to feel better due to the appreciation that is portrayed on social media. So there's a huge degree of involvement of the youth in social media, but it also has its ups and downs, which I think can also be noticed.
One, there is anxiety and depression, because if you spend the whole of 20 hours on your phone, this increases your chances of being depressed, because most of the time you find stories that are so depressing online. People are being killed across the globe, the wars, the natural calamities, all things that you're consuming.
Most of young men keep on using those social media without a positive intention. Just keep wasting your time watching films that will earn you nothing, that will always waste your time. You better think positively and ignore negative ideas.
Those things have taken our minds to the fact that our moral behavior of waking up and probably first taking a glass of water, or first praying, or first greeting the people that are in the same house with you, maybe that has cut down, because the first thing that comes to our mind is our phones, is our social media, to check how we are trending or to check what's going on. So I think that's the negative thing that I see, the fact that we have let social media drive us instead of actually being us who drive it every day to day.
Whoever designed this app didn't think someone from Rwanda or someone from Burundi is going to use this app. He designed it thinking someone from California, someone from Spain, someone from Italy is going to use this app. So at the end of the day, he designed it thinking about the culture in Spain, think about the culture in Greece, didn't think about the culture in Nairobi or in Thika or anywhere else. So in terms of moral values and culture, I think social media platforms, because many of them are designed from the West, they don't really connect, or they don't really match with the culture we have in Africa, particularly in Kenya, Rwanda, or East Africa.
The origin of all those social medias are from Western countries. They are developed. They are far from where we are. We have been brought up as Rwandans. Take an example of Rwanda as part of Africa, behaving in a manner that a child respects a parent. But with social media, that does not matter. They don't care.
If you're going to look on the large scale of the youth of today, morally, they are tending to lose their cultural values due to the fact that they are being forced to portray something in order to possibly get more appreciated or get more views or get more likes, and then they tend to forget their cultural values. That means they're going to post a half-naked picture just to get appreciated, and they forget that what happens after that picture is posted.
If you have like 1 million accounts are for women, basically 100 women are the one who post naked pictures, others post decent stuff. So I would say there is always a negative and a positive thing, but I think those who post the immoral post to our culture are few.
Social media tends to provoke the youth of today in living a life that is not real, which is the bad side of it. Or if the youth out there get lost in the facade of social media today, these moral values tend to get lost in it.
They build a kind of confidence, kind of imitating culture of behavior in terms of dressing, in terms of talking, in terms of everything which distorts or goes against the value values of a Rwandan, a real Rwandan who actually used to behave as a human being who will be respected due to the physical appearance, to the word he alters, to the way he responds to others, to the way he converses. So even, I mean, dressing itself is distorted with that kind of social medias.
People should go about social media with the fact of what is your goal using social media. Are you using social media because people have been telling you about this latest tweet? Or are you using social media because you want to get a lot of likes?
It is absolute to every one of us that social media has had a negative impact on the moral behaviors among the youth in the city of Kigali. But how do we go about this problem?
We need to set up groups that the youth can be able to feel welcomed to, and then have professionals speak to these people, professionals who have been through the social media, professionals who have dealt with it, to tell them the benefits and also the disadvantages of the impacts of social media. They need to know what happens when you portray a life that is not necessarily real. Sometimes it is your real life and you want to showcase it, but what happens after you've done that? What happens to your image out there in society?
Some youth believe social media is a personal thing, but it's not.
So I think let's program ourselves. I think that's the best way to go about this. Programming yourself, your hours of social media. Plan if it's only lunchtime, then let that be your time of social media. Maybe if you're going on Twitter, do it around 10 because there is a lot of new stuff that is coming up, breaking news that you need to see. But then don't make it like 30 minutes of your time so that you have a lot more to do that can be constructive for you during the day and also during your career as well.
Our social media, each and every platform and app, social media has got a button called report. So I think if you see an inappropriate post, you can report it. Me, instead of coming to say maybe my ex-girlfriend is posting naked picture, I say it loudly, I can report that picture, and Instagram will of course have a read on it. And if it's inappropriate, Instagram will take it down. We have seen accounts being taken down because those accounts abuse certain people. I think it's more of telling people they need to learn how to use the app in depth, not just follow and unfollow posts just like that.
By the way, I feel like posting this picture on my social media platforms, but I'm just wondering, what should I or you consider when going to post a picture on social media?
If you're going to post something, consider the fact that there is what they call sharing. You can post and it's not going to be only seen by your followers, but someone else can grab it and post somewhere else. So you're going to be targeted by a wide range of people. So keep that in mind, that it's not the people that you wanted to target are the ones that are saying it. It's more than you expected. So you should always expect more than that.
Through whatever your friends are posting and through you see online, whatever you see online, I think we know what is appropriate. Sometimes we go beyond that, but I think we have that sense of appropriate. You shouldn't post things that are naked. You shouldn't post sexual content. You shouldn't post violent content.
What you post is what you show people, and what you show people is the image they get of you, the personality, the character that they get from you. If you post a picture of you at the sports every day today, they will take you to be a person interested in fitness. If you post a picture of you cooking or baking, they will take you to be a person passionate about bakery. So what we post actually reveals who we are, or speaks even more, because actions speak louder than words. So what we do or what we reflect shows who we are. So before we post something on our different posts, on our different social media platforms, let's think of how society is going to think about us.
As a young person who is joining social media, who is using social media, there are things that you need to consider. One, what do you post? Your picture, your video, the text on Facebook, is it something that's going to affect you mentally, financially, spiritually, or something that's going to affect you in the future? Because these days, to be honest, in this century we live in, today you apply for a job, they ask you for social media platforms. If you're applying for a job as a human rights activist, or a human rights advocate, or an accountant, or be it a radio person or a broadcaster, if they ask you for social media platforms and they realize your social media is full of funny pictures, like videos that are not necessarily something that's tangible or something that connects or something that matches your job description or something you're applying for, it's going to affect you.
You need to think twice before posting. Like, if I post this picture 5 years from now, if I have a kid, what will he say? Or 5 years from now, if I become a minister, what will they? What if they dig down to that? Will this affect my future plans? I think that's what you need to convince. Because you may post the picture today, then you think you have a button called delete, but there's a screenshot. So for me, I've recorded it.
So if you do not want to be accused of that post later in the future, or if you do not want to ever be denied something due to that certain post that you did, please consider your future when you're going to post it. And also consider that you can never please everyone. If you feel like it is right what you're going to do, it depends on what you think is morally right. Always post something because you wanted to, not because an outside force is pressuring you to. So
what matters is how you, young men or youth in general, do apply such services. Because if you use it positively, it will earn you a lot to gain. And if you use it negatively, then it will worsen your life.
Social media is full of bots, it's full of scams. You don't know who you're chatting with, you don't know who you're talking to. You end up sending a picture that you didn't want to send, and this picture is going to come back and haunt you in the next 5 years. So you need to think twice before post, text, or write to anyone.
Because tomorrow or today, you do not know who is watching you. Every tweet we put on Twitter, let it have an intention, let it have a goal, because at the end of the day, it is you and your image and your reputation and legacy.
So it's upon them to decide to be strong in decision making upon utilization of such instruments.
Conclusively, social media is a tool and a platform we all must use to socialize. But a big work remains for all of us to use it for the better and not for destruction. My name is Sam Kalisa. God bless you.
Your account on Twitter, no matter how much you make it private,